Welcome to the real life show, Living with a Chronic Illness. We are your hosts, Cassie and Chelsea. I'm Cassie, a single mom living with a chronic illness who is extremely passionate about living a full and happy life.
And I'm Chelsea, a mindset coach that has a passion for helping people learn to put themselves first and be the best version of themselves each and every day.
We came together to create Spoonies Unite, an uplifting community that offers resources, guidance, and support so you can live your best life while giving you the space to be yourself, be heard, and feel understood. We hope that by providing education from experts, we help Spoonies and their loved ones thrive.
This show is not only for those who live with a chronic illness, but their friends, family, spouses, and just anyone else existing on the earth. Our goal is to normalizing having a chronic illness by sharing the real stories with real people and show the world how relatable those everyday struggles can be. There's a little something in here for everyone.
And of course, thank you to our patrons for your continued support making this possible. If you love our show and want to get some extra goodies, go to patreon.com/TheRealSpooniesUnite. Enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of The Real Life Show, Living with a Chronic Illness. We have made it to week 3 of our workbook that we've been going through the past 2 weeks. We have been going through Cassie and I's Mastering Energy Management 21-day workbook, a guide for Spoonies to create the life they've dreamed of. We hope that the past 2 weeks have been really informative, looking at the amount of energy that you have, really taking the time to check in with yourself, and then kind of learning a little bit about yourself as we go. So again, we're starting week 3 today. And so the theme of week 3 is maximizing your spoons. So I know during week 2, we kind of stepped away from really focusing on them through our daily questions, even though you were still looking at them with the questions that repeat from every single day, day to day to day. So the question for today that we really want you to dive in is to go back and look at the number of spoons that you think you had at the beginning of the day, how much that you think you had that you actually used the next day, and start looking to see if those are matching up. So we've kind of had you reflect every single day on your spoon usage, but now we want you to go a little bit deeper and really look at, are you using more spoons than what you actually have on average every day? Do you need to reevaluate how many spoons you realistically have in a day? Did you guess too many, too little? Do you need to adjust that? And then if you need to make any changes to the new number of allotted daily spoons that you have, make those changes and kind of give yourself a new number. And I know, Cassie, you talked earlier about how through this process, you kind of realized that like, oh, you thought you had 15 or 16 spoons. And you're like, I have 8 or 10. So do you want to give our listeners kind of any tidbits of information on that discovery?
Yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums it up. Is like, even in the pre-work, if you listened to that, you heard me giving an example of like calculating your spoons. And I was like, oh yeah, I got like 16, I feel pretty good these days. And it was a total miscalculation. I'm actually living more. And it was this workbook that showed me how many I actually have in a day when I'm like, to feel my best and get the things that I want. And it is closer to 8 to 10. So I am living more of an 8 to 10 spoons a day kind of life right now, which is good. I've lived a lot where I have had 2 spoons or 4 spoons. And some days I go back into that. And some days I have like 12 or 20 spoons. But again, it's kind of like borrowing spoons from the next day or like stocking them up and then using them on the weekend or something. So yeah, I learned a lot. I learned that I have around half as many spoons as what I actually thought I did. And when I started paying attention and making some small adjustments, I was able to maximize my spoons better. And I've been finding it easier to add into my day things that give me energy, and also adding little things into my day that get me closer to living what my perfect day looks like. How about you, Chelsea?
Kind of like I mentioned earlier, I realized through this process that I use all of the spoons that I have every day, which does not leave me any wiggle room if life happens or I don't sleep well or just weird stuff comes up. And so I really kind of have been working on doing less in each day and setting better boundaries and just not planning to fill every single second of my day with stuff, allowing times for rest and breaks and not working on stuff all the time. But it definitely is, it's kind of earth-shattering in some ways when you start looking at like, oh, well, I think I have this much energy and I'm consistently using this much energy, especially over like a 2-week period of your life is a pretty significant amount of time. Like you can definitely start to see some patterns pop up, and it's just interesting to see that information just right in front of your face. So we recommend that you all do that. Again, take the time to reflect. This is a kind of a big question. This is kind of a big day because it's going to help continue to set yourself up and really reflect on how you're using your energy and how you can do that a little bit better. So we hope you take the time to actually do that work, and we will be back tomorrow for a whole new day and a whole new question.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please write us a review to help us reach more people like you.
If you'd like to connect with Cassie and I, you can find us on Instagram at The Real Spoonies Unite. You can also join our private Facebook community, Spoonies Unite, or you can visit our website, therealspooniesunite.com, for all sorts of resources and to stay up to date with our current projects. And don't worry, you can find all of these links in the show notes below.
Thank you to our wonderful Spoonie patrons for all your support, and you can become one too. That's right. All you have to do is go on over to patreon.com/therealspooniesunite, and you can get all sorts of extra goodies like videos of our episodes and more.
Any support is greatly appreciated. It helps enable us to create more content for all of you, as well as make this podcast sound better and better. Thanks for listening. We can't wait to be back in your ears soon.